Soldier Field in Chicago. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Chicago Bears. Couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And with this offense, one guy to key in on defensively is Kevin White.
Had to battle injuries at the start of his career, but boy, he's ready to fulfill his promise. An absolute beast downfield.
Second down following the run. Now Cutler to throw on 2nd down. And this is complete to Zach Miller. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
On first down, they run with Howard. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. In Week 10, the 4th 100-yard game of the season for Jordan Howard. In fact, he had 100 yards right on the nose.
Remember in preseason when all the competition was Jeremy Langford, Kadeem Carey, and could Jordan Howard get some carries? Well, for the last 6 weeks, he's been 100 yards or more carrying the football. Firmly grasping that position right now, hoping that he's going to stay healthy the rest of the year.
He did suffer a minor injury around the ankle Achilles area, but hopefully he'll be okay going forward. So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. On 2nd down, Cutler. The hook up good to Marquise Wilson. And he's brought down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they could do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Receives it from Cutler. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Time here to show you the starters while we have a moment defensively for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I know one guy you like from Miami, Artie Burns.
Just jumps off the screen when you plug in his college tape in terms of athleticism. And I also watched him play with some intelligence. Saw him at one point jump into the slot and pattern read.
Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Five yards left for the offense. It's 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Cutler. He's got time in the pocket. And his throw is incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and 5.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Now the offense in that middle ground here on 3rd down, 3rd and 5. From the gun on third down, it's blitz coming, and down he goes. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play. Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
They'll come out in the pistol.
Hurry up, let's go! 2, 2.
Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Against the Cowboys, Bell 57 on the ground, 77 through the air, and a touchdown in each department.
His versatility is so good and so strong. It's a lesson for running backs everywhere. Yeah, of course you want to carry the ball. That's your number one thing. But the ability to split out, catch passes, hurt a defense that way allows you to pile up numbers to help your team.
Left! 230! Left! 180!
The play clock's running down. They snap it at 1. Now it's Roethlisberger. Going up top. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Ball free and brings up third down. This offense has some speed, and certainly Martavis Bryant, he has some speed.
He has that, and he has size. That's what makes him so difficult to cover, because just when you think you have to play him one way, the other attribute kicks in. Martavis Bryant could be an all-star real soon.
From the gun on third down, it's Roethlisberger. Trying to get it to Wheaton, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And he'll actually lose 6 yards on the return, but I don't think they care. They've got the football back. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Yeah, get a little closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that, because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run, probing now early to try and get things done later.
They come up in an offset eye. This is Howard on second down. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Daniel McCullers in on the stop.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Third and 2. Now Cutler. It's caught, and he rolled. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning goes right at him, and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. And the D-line pinching together, must be expecting the run. Now Cutler in trouble. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because This is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The fumble, but they're able to maintain possession. Now it's second down. They isolate Jeffrey to the left side.
Hey.
Now Cutler looking to throw. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. And Pittsburgh with 6 defensive backs in the game here on. And the Steelers signal for another timeout. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise there in the dime. Now Cutler. Completion left side to Miller. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47.
Well, the advantage has certainly shifted to the defense as we began that 3rd down play, and they found a way to foil it and pick up a first down.
3rd time's a charm, right? 2 incompletions. Had to have it on 3rd, and they got it.
Yeah, they stuck with it, weren't daunted at all, and picked it up.
Throwing now, Cutler on first down. Deep drop, and lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10. They'll run here. This is Kadeem Carey. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Cutler. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers, they get ready to roll again on offense, and they're reeling. They're on a 4-game losing streak, Charles. They were 4-1, now 4-5. What do you make of the Steelers at this point?
Well, some of it comes down to health. Remember, Big Ben missed a game when he got hurt against Miami, and then they had an open week, and so he only missed the 1 game and came back. But his timing was off a little bit with his receivers in the next game that he played. But overall, take a look at the schedule. All right, New England was one of the losses. Dallas was one of the losses. Those are 2 of the better teams in the league. The ones they might regret a little bit, Miami and Baltimore. But both of those teams are playing much better in recent weeks.
You know, Charles, a lot made about the Bears' offense scoring less than 16 points a game. The defense, they've been pretty good, but the offensive production just hasn't been there.
Makes it very difficult to hang in there as a defense when your offense isn't giving you much anyway. And they do have one bright spot, though, especially on the defensive side, and that's Leonard Floyd, their first-round draft pick. Remember, they moved up last spring to make sure they got him because they thought maybe the Giants might take him at number 10, and he's played pretty well recently, 4.5 sacks in his last 3 games.
So this brings up a 2nd and 2. On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. And caught right side, Green. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, you know, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Play clock winding down. Now a 1st down carry by Bell. And not much doing. He'll get this only up to about the 36. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster. It all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. This is Bell on the dump off. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Big boys down there in the trenches, and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense, and what a big-time play there.
Time running out here on the play clock. Now Roethlisberger. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
don't they? They get that little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Roethlisberger will throw. Goes underneath for Bell. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Again, we'll see the pistol here. 1st down and goal. The offense knocking on the door. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Here's the backup running back, Carlos Williams. And he'll take this one down inside the 5 to the 3. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
The play clock's running down. On 3rd and goal, he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jarrell Freeman. And he'll wind up losing 5 yards or so on the return, but no matter, they've got the football back. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll begin the drive with Howard. They find some open field here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
You don't have to be a finished product to show some pretty good glimpses of what could be in this league. And we just saw an example of it on that nice run there. And I looked at him coming out of college. I saw a guy with raw, terrific ability. I couldn't wait to see how it was going to be harnessed and polished up in the NFL. In fact, some people thought he could play a little slot receiver as well as run the football. This guy has the ability to be a big-time player with more seasoning.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. So a pause here for us as well. Time to pay some bills. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break. So the offense looking at a 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, Cutler. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Zach Miller as tight end there. And that'll make it 3rd down. Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass.
Gun! 180!
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Cutler. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They'll throw on 1st down with Cutler. Going for the deep ball. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Mike Mitchell. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I
was going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about?
Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Six yards to go here on 2nd down. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. On 2nd down, Roethlisberger playing with a catch right side. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Roethlisberger on first down. He's going to air one out. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. And he'll get this up to about the 40. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. 230. And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. 3rd and 2. Now Roethlisberger. And he's got room. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. 1 receiver left, 3 to the right. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. And they're going to go soft on the corners. 2nd and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. This is caught by Antonio Brown. Big game in Week 10 for Brown. 154 yards, 14 receptions, and a touchdown.
It's also looked like they're using somewhat as an extension of their running game, right? A lot of screens, quick passes to him, and that's what you have to do. Get the ball in the hands of a player like Antonio Brown. Let them create downfield. It usually works out pretty well for you and your offense.
So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the 3rd quarter. There are 0 points on the scoreboard for either side. It'll be interesting to see what adjustments were made. The defenses have obviously been great.
So if you like defense, this is a classic game. This is what you're looking for. But now you're trying to figure out how to gain any type of an advantage on offense. Is it through a big chunk play that they haven't seen before? Or is it just running your regular offense and running it better, trying to create an opportunity?
We'll see which avenue they choose to go down. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Mitch on Ryan. Coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12. And the O-line will have to do a better job protecting here on 3rd down after that sack. Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That'll be a gain of 16. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. They go with Howard to begin the drive. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Shipped together here from the D-line. On 2nd down, Cutler. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
So completion on 2nd down, that brings up 3rd. They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
So it'll be first down here after the run. They isolate Jeffrey to the left side. On 1st and 10, it's Cutler. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Well, Charles, we had one of the best innings, if not the best of the season in Week 10. Will Parks of the Broncos returning that block kick down the sideline. White cleat, white sideline. Did he step out? Hard to tell.
Before I even get to that answer, you know what it reminds me of? A hockey player told me a long time ago, you never wrap your stick with white tape, because then the goalie can find the puck a lot easier. Wrap it with black tape to try and hide it a little bit. We talk about a white shoe on a white sideline. Hard to tell whether he did or didn't. And since the call on the field was he didn't, it had to stand. So that made it really work out well. So if you're going to play, white cleats might be the way to go.
And he will find his big tight end over the middle.
Wow, I can't help it. When I see Jay Cutler throw the football and throw one like that with a big completion, I can't help but be impressed.
His arm strength, such an asset.
It really is, because it gets him in trouble sometimes, but I think it gets him out of trouble more often than that.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. They come up in an offset eye. Cutler gives it to Howard. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Cutler to throw on second down. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. Pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. 5 wides in the game, 4 of them to the right side. On 3rd down, Cutler. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Cameron Hayward able to get him down for a loss of 11 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. On line, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
They'll try and get the running game going with Bell. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. And they're going to speed things up here.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
On the counter, here's Bell. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Will Sutton is the one to bring him down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger surveying the field. Flush to his right. Wide open receiver complete. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. Bryant spread out to the right. Play clock winding down. They'll throw on 1st down with Roethlisberger. And Bryant's got it over the middle. They'll get 23 yards there. And the Steelers are going to have a 1st and goal. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find it.
Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Le'Veon Bell, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers have taken the lead. Well, he wasn't the guy they were initially going for, but after going through the progressions, it worked.
When you have plenty of people who can catch the football, you don't always have to go to your primary target, and sometimes that target is actually covered. Nice job coming off of that and getting it to someone who was open.
Yeah, the man out of the backfield gets in for the score. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team, because as they drove downfield, You know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Back now at Soldier Field. It's Bears football, but they trail on the scoreboard as we get set to bring you the fourth quarter. Now it's 2nd and 7. On second down, here's Cutler. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Eddie Royal is intended target. Third down here.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
So now it's 3rd and 7, and defensively it's a dime look. 6 DBs. From the gun on third down, it's Cutler. And Jeffrey's got it. And he's brought down after a good gain. A nice gain of 21 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot. And they connected there and picked up a first down.
On first down, it's Cutler. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing, the O-line coach will.
And he's brought down. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
They'll throw on first down with Cutler. And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Second and 10 now. It's Cutler. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Cameron Meredith, the intended target. And it's third down.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Throwing again, it's Cutler. It's caught. Eddie Royal. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. So he makes the grab and the chains move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line giving them time to complete that first down pass.
They isolate Jeffrey to the left side. On 1st and 10, it's Cutler. And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
And on 2nd and 10 now. A give to Howard. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
And that's another stop for the defense, something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. So now a 3rd and 12 with an extra defender here in the secondary. A nickel look. Throwing here. Cutler. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. It'll be a gain of 4. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, and it's his 3rd missed field goal of the game, much to the displeasure of this home crowd, some of whom are heading for the turnstiles.
And unfortunately for him, he'll be a hot topic of discussion on talk radio in the week ahead. But I think this goes beyond him. This has really not been the greatest of performances from the top to the bottom.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the 4th quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they've got to keep that going while continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out and continue to do exactly what we just saw there, and that's run the football? So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And he showed some fancy footwork on the juke, but then quickly taken down. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st. Let's see what the defense dials up here. 3rd and 4. Time running out here on the play clock. Now it's Roethlisberger. He's got his man here. It's Green. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here. Down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
And Bryant's got it over the middle. And he's brought down after a good gain. 23 yards on the play. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Now Roethlisberger on 1st down. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And the defense in desperate need of a stop. They have to get off the field and get the ball back to their offense if they want a chance. Second and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Marcus Wheaton was the one he was looking for. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger finding time. And able to find Green. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run it in with Bell. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Just keep the ball on the ground. Do a little pounding. Chew up some clock. If they can get it in, that might be enough to get them home. And if not, the clock is definitely their friend.
Second and goal. Defense digging in again here. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. Now, it looks like they might be expecting a pass, an extra DB in on 3rd and goal.
That's how the game has changed. Now we think pass first, even in goal line situations.
And now Roethlisberger signals for a timeout. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Now we'll see an extra defensive back here on a very important 3rd down. Now it's Roethlisberger. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
And Boswell's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So barring something extraordinary, something crazy here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Brandon, this will be a great win for them. The better team's going to win this game, no question about it.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, two-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
Under. Hey, hey, hey. Easy, easy.
Throwing now is Cutler. He's got time. Now Cutler in trouble. He lost the football. But call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
A near turnover, but the offense recovers it. Now they'll try to regroup on second.
Get it. 180. Hey, hey, hey.
Cutler to throw. He's got time in the pocket. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. A great read, and it's picked off. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Getting down to the end here, they have a two-score lead. Barely, but it's a two-score lead, so that probably makes you as a coach feel a lot more comfortable right now, doesn't it, Charles?
It does, but it doesn't mean now you go out and run option or some kind of wild double reverse or anything like that. But you do know that if anything does go haywire, you're still in control of this game.
I want a double reverse, don't you?
I'm just waiting for that day where we actually see something like that in this situation.
We'll see what happens here. And now the Bears going to signal for another timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11.
Set. 180.
They'll go again with Bell. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup. And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
The storyline of this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column, too.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say so